I started to work on this album project around August 2013. Around that time, Michael Schmidt, the composer Michael Schmidt, was himself working on his own album, which was featuring great musicians, including Vinnie Colaiuta, who is, of course, a legendary drummer, and I always dreamed of having him on some of my music. So Michael recommended me to contact the great bass player Jimmy Haslip, who might be able to produce and coordinate a session with Vinnie.
Antoine was very interested in having me produce some drum tracks for his new project. And he was interested in hiring a drummer named Vinnie Colaiuta, who's in this room right now overdubbing drums on a bunch of Antoine's music.
So the majority of the music on this album was composed between September and December of the year 2013, having a January deadline for the 2-day session. It was the first time in my life that I had such a tight deadline for a personal project of mine, which made things quite interesting. So I only had 3 months to compose all the music, but also write the drum charts and make sure that the session goes as smoothly as possible.
We're here at Stagg Street Studios. It's in the North Valley, Los Angeles, and it's a very nice facility. And I like recording here. I've actually done a lot of sessions here with Vinnie on drums, so it's very comfortable. I also brought in engineer Rich Breen, who I've done probably 50 projects with, and he's a wonderful engineer. So they're in there now working on some stuff, and we're happy to be here.
Another very important aspect of this project is the collaboration of Jerry Villiers Jr, who is an amazing musician, equally as a composer but also as a guitar player. And he's also very knowledgeable about music production. And the album was actually mixed in his home studio. So his input definitely elevated the music or the whole project to another level.
Antoine had 3 months to write all the songs, and he did a fantastic job. It was really cool. When the chord changes arrived, I was a little bit like, whoa, you know, a lot of chords in there and a lot of changes, and it was certainly a challenge to work through this, to find a way also to bring a sound, a direction, to set the tone really for the drummers to be playing on those tracks, which was not easy. It turned out great. I'm really happy about that. To work with Antoine was really, really fun. Very talented, and he wrote some really nice songs on the album. So yeah, I was very happy to be part of this. It was really, really fun.
The album is called Ad Perpetuum, which means everlasting. The music on it was composed as a whole and features the same chord trio on all the tracks. That's a contrast to my previous 2 albums, where you pretty much had different players from one song to the other. The fact that Vinnie, Jerry, and myself are playing on all the songs probably creates a certain sense of unity and a distinct sound color to the whole project. D-Day is a song that exceptionally features two drummers. This is actually the third time I experiment with this type of arrangement, as my previous two albums each had a song where some double drumming was featured. So on D-Day, Vinnie plays alongside the great Gary Husband, who is of course another legendary musician. It was really special to have the opportunity to materialize this combination of players. A drum duet is never something easy to successfully achieve because of the high risk of unwanted flams between the two players. But Gary performed in a way that completed really well Vinnie's part. So the song is, I think, definitely one of the highlights of the album. As far as the compositional process goes, I wanted to make sure that the album would include a good balance of dynamics, sound colors, and tempos. I worked with different groove ideas, time signatures, and harmonic progressions, and as I've done in the past, I've composed a lot of music on the classical guitar. I've tried to come up with interesting rhythmical ideas, unusual chords, also simple melodies that would sit sometimes on a complex foundation. Generally, I deliberately try to never use the exact same formula from one song to the other. I don't want to repeat myself too much, and I think it's important to be aware if an idea has been used before and if we don't fall into a certain creative pattern. So overall, I do take some risks in order to eventually open the possibility of creating something original. There are a few additional musicians on this album, including keyboardist Jerry Atkins and saxophonist Jean-Pierre Zanella, who are both incredible players. Although they only appear on a few tracks, their contribution was really important and I think essential to the project.
Antoine's music is really cool. It's very challenging, and he's a wonderful musician, bass player.
Well, my general goal is simply to put together the most interesting and original music I can offer, and I just hope that it will entertain those who will take the time to listen to it. Thank you.